viewers, Rectangular back, this time with another haul video. Here we've got a couple of loose figures. On the left from eBay, I picked up a Captain Phasma from a seller in China or Hong Kong, and I think it was China. And I think I paid $10 shipped for her, so not a bad deal. It's actually very nice. If it's not authentic, if it's a knockoff or production overrun, it's a pretty damn nice figure. Loose, the joints are just a little bit loose. There was a lot of very strange smelling oil on the figure that I had to wash off when I first got it, but I'm just using it for parts for a custom anyway, so not a big deal. I may end up trying to make some modifications to the figure since it is pretty decent, and I can definitely use that cape for another figure as well. And then on the right from Facebook, a young lady, I think her name was Leslie McMaster. She was selling a bunch of fodder figures, and she had a Nightcrawler with no head, and the tail had come off. So I definitely wanted to pick up a loose Nightcrawler that wasn't maybe in the best shape, because I wanted to try to modify the ab crunch on it. It's got a pretty good range of motion, but I think there's a spring inside that won't allow you to keep him in a crunched position either forward or backward. So I'll have to hit up my friend Billy Mahoney and see what suggestions he has as far as trying to modify him. And the head cast I got from Clay Orr. He didn't have it up on his site, and I hit him up and asked him. I was like, "Hey, do you happen to have a Nightcrawler head cast?" And he said, "Sure. Let me crank some out, and then I'll put them up on my store." So thank you, Mr. Orr, for that. The Nightcrawler is in pretty damn good shape, with the exception of obviously the missing head and the tail, which I just kind of wedged in there. But the only other bad issue with him is the knee joint on his left leg. I'm going to have to try to get that, either replace the peg or just seat it in there properly. Hopefully just some heat. I can get it wedged in there. I don't know if it's salvageable, but I'm going to try my best to fix that. Otherwise, pretty damn good figure, and I seem to be obsessed with this figure. From Toy Biz, I'd be really surprised if Hasbro is able to top it. And with that, let's move on to the next set of items. Next up, we have a pair of Warpath figures. On the left, we have the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe Warpath, and on the right, we have the Marvel Legends Warpath from the 2-pack with Deadpool from Hasbro. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Warpath, but since he is a member of the Starjammers, or was a member of the Starjammers, I definitely had to complete that team. Initially, I was having a really hard time finding the Marvel Legends Warpath for a good price, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the Marvel Universe one, so at least I can do an MSD setup, which in ACBA terms, that's a multi-scale display. So I thought, I could have him, charging at somebody in the background or something like that. And I didn't pay too much. I got him off eBay. I think it was about $10, $11 shipped, so not too painful. And then the Warpath I got. Actually, I was telling my friend Christopher Cerda that I was looking for that figure. And he just happened to be at his friend Sergio Tamez. He has a store down in his area near Brownsville, Texas, and just happened to be in that store the day before and said, "Oh, you know what, my friend Sergio's got one. Let me hit him up and see if he still has it." And sure enough, he still did. So I got it for 100 shipped. So pretty damn good deal. I had snoozed on one on eBay. I could have got for 105 shipped, so I didn't hesitate when I knew that he had him for, a fair price. This figure is just becoming more and more hard to find, and when Shatterstar gets released from the X-Men wave, a lot of people are gonna want him for that team. So for that, what is that, X-Force team that he was on. So yeah, he's just going to become more and more valuable. I don't really see Hasbro remaking him anytime soon. But yeah, initially I was going to hold out and try to make a custom out of the Hyperion body mold, because I don't like this body mold. But after talking to my buddies on the Triple C podcast, they were, Diego was first to explain, he's huge in the comics. So this body mold actually works well for him and for the Wrecking Crew, but for a character like Crossbones, I think this body mold is way too big. Crossbones is not a steroid freak in the comics, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're probably going to retire this body mold now after that last Crossbones was on it, but we shall see. And with that, let's move on to the next set of items. Here we have a couple of female figures still in the package. On the left we have the Superior Foes of Spider-Man Beetle figure. Not a big fan of the character or Spider-Man in general. I do like Spider-Man, he's just not my favorite. And I wanted to, after I picked up some of the other figures from the Superior Foes of Spider-Man, I figured I might as well get her in case we eventually get Overdrive. It's the last character that we need to complete that team. So I'm hoping maybe this year or next year we'll get Overdrive and we can finally complete that team. I don't need the Build-A-Figure piece, so I'll be selling that. And then on the right we have Agent Dana Scully from the McFarlane X-Files series. I found her on Facebook. Larry Jones, who I didn't know previously, he was selling a bunch of older figures, and he had this one and the other Scully figure that comes with I think the cryotube device, and I needed this one for the hospital gurney, so yeah, I didn't want to pay very much. The figure's garbage. It does have a nice FBI badge, which is cool, but the cell phone is kind of it's not that great. I think I have better cell phone props, so yeah, I'll probably be chucking the figure, but I'll keep the badge and the phone. And then the dead body prop is pretty nice as well. It's odd that it looks kind of dirty in the package, so I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, I definitely did not have a hospital gurney or the dead body, so those are great props, and got a good deal from Mr. Jones. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, now let's move on to the next set of items. You must be saying to yourself, this guy must really love Nightcrawler, but in actuality, not a huge fan of the character. I just fell in love with the figure. Like I said in my previous haul video, when I first got Nightcrawler for the first time, I said that this is one of the few Toy Biz Marvel Legends that's really going to hold up the test of time, because of all the sculpted detail and all the points of articulation. It's really makes it an outstanding figure, and I don't know if Hasbro is going to be able to match it or surpass it. So before I found the headless figure that I just showed, I went on eBay and found this guy in the package, and got him for a pretty reasonable price. I got lucky because the package, the top of the package is a little bit bent or beat up, and for people who are mint on card collectors, they want the figure and the package to be in pristine condition. And since I'm not a mint on card collector, I didn't really care, because at the time I was planning on opening him. So yeah, I already had purchased him like a day or two before, when I saw the one missing its head, and so I figured I can, the one that's missing the head I can modify, and at least I'll have one that's always in pristine condition. So yeah, hopefully he's not broken in the package. Also, I considered just selling that Galactus Build-A-Figure piece. So if there is still a demand for people to get a hold of that, then I might just end up opening him up and selling that piece. And yeah, so great figure, and I'm glad I have multiples of him. And with that, let's move on to the next set of items. Here from Bandai Tamashii Nations, we have the SH Figuarts Ant-Man from the Captain America Civil War movie. Man, I've been wanting this figure for a really long time. I've seen people selling it for about $50 shipped, and I just couldn't justify the cost, because the costume changed so much. I mean, not dramatically, but just enough from the Marvel Legends version and the Marvel Select version that I felt I couldn't really integrate it with those figures. About the only figure this really goes with is the Giant Man from the movie, which I haven't taken the time to build. I'm kicking myself. I saw a couple people selling it for like less than $30 shipped, and I didn't catch it in time, so I'd still like to get one for cheap. My friend Josh Cheney, aka Cheney180, who is on the Toy Migos podcast, They're Not Dolls, and he's on the Triple C podcast with me and the other guys. He gave me an amazing deal on this figure, and greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Josh. That's the only way that I really wanted to get this figure, if I could get a good deal. And he looks fantastic. I know that the articulation is going to be really well done. I'm surprised at actually how good the Marvel Legends Ant-Man is, but this one you're going to be able to do a whole lot more. So I'm a huge fan of Ant-Man, and hopefully we'll get a new version with a unmasked head or unhelmeted head when Ant-Man 2 comes out. Hopefully they're not going to go too crazy with a costume change again. But yeah, I would love for them to do a flashback and show the classic version. I'm hoping that we'll get a new classic Ant-Man, either in Marvel Legends form or from Figuarts. Alright, with that, let's move on to the last set of items. Finally, this week we have the Marvel Select Destroyer. Man, it seems like it's been about 9 months since they announced this figure, and I think it's been 6 or 7 months since the pre-order went up, so been a long wait for this, but definitely worth it. Got pushed back, I think, twice. So far, all the reviews and everything I've seen of this figure make me very happy. I got the figure and purchased 2 of them. With Marvel Select, in the past at least, they tend to be very fragile. They break very easily. The plastic is a lot more fragile, but they've really improved that, I think, over the past couple of years. The Marvel Select Thor that we got with the spinning hammer, I think that came out last year, that's still by far one of my favorite figures in my collection, and this is going to complement that figure quite nicely. I'm going to get this guy out of the package and just do a quick comparison with the other the other Destroyer figures that we've got in years past, and compare him to a couple of Thor figures as well. Here we have the Marvel Select Destroyer out of the package with some smaller Destroyer figures on either side. On the left we have the Hasbro, I think this came in their 3 3/4 inch scale line of figures for the movie, and at the time, I was happy to get that figure just for static poses in the background because of how small the Marvel Legends Destroyer on the far right is. This is the old Toy Biz version that uses very much the same body mold as the what is it called, Thor Buster Iron Man figure. So and I think it's actually a little bit smaller than the Thor Buster Iron Man. So definitely too small. We been dying to get a new Destroyer for a long time, especially a big Destroyer. So this is a really welcome figure, and the paint on it is fantastic. I think it's a great blend. Much better. This is kind of heavy-handed with the dark shading on the left figure there. It's kind of like striped. It doesn't look good. This one, I think they did a much better job. It's still kind of striped in some areas. It's a little bit heavy-handed in some spots, but overall, I think it looks much better, and a great kind of combination of sculpt and articulation. The Marvel Legends one obviously is going to be a lot more articulated. That's what Marvel Legends are known for. So I think I did an old picture from the comics, classic cover of classic Thor fighting the Destroyer, and that's when they were pretty similar in size. So he has been drawn in different sizes, but I always think of Destroyer being bigger than Thor. And I'll move these guys out of the way and grab the Marvel Select Thor that is, for me, the definitive Thor right now. Here on the left we have the Marvel Select Thor from, God, I think that was year before last. And yeah, these guys look great together. I think that Diamond Select has really stepped up their game. They've really redeemed themselves over the past couple years, and I'm really excited to get the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Select figures, Gamora and Rocket in particular. So man, Marvel Select, keep up the good work, and with that, hopefully you guys like the video, you share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I always love hearing back from you guys, so please leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey you, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Brock out.
That's crispy.